There is see this design here on the rock wall. That is somebody's actual artwork that they provided to hit record. So artwork from like one of you guys. So when they're asking you guys for art to put in the game, that right there was submitted and actually used inside the game. So that right there, that they're getting ready to walk over to.
So we wanted to start with your contribution into our common, actually, demo. So that's, Emil, you can let us know about this.
You see a lot of example of integrations from the community inside the demo, but this one is really interesting because it's actually a depiction of the Moksha's Gate we've been talking about, something that hybrids are dreaming about, you know, for them. They hope that one day they will cross this gate and reach a safe heaven where they will live in complete freedom. And what I really like with this artwork, it shows that the hybrids, you know, so they don't have so many means to create those artworks. They are doing it with what they found. Exactly, they do that with what they found, and yeah, this artwork is really interesting for that. It was the perfect place actually to put it at the beginning of the demo in this weird cave actually where our players are moving.
It's quite emotional for us to show this because again, it's not only our work; it's the work we created together. So that's really, really great.
Exactly.
So BGNE is an RPG, action adventure RPG. You can play alone or with your friends in co-op. Today's demo is going to be 2.
So the co-op, I think at the moment is 4 people co-op. So it's not just like now there is we'll get into it, but it's 4 people co-op. I think it's you know, with your friends, you could invite 4 different friends into one game, and then all 4 of you guys can play through the actual campaign of Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Players. So we have Audrey on the right of the screen, and
as you can see these characters here, this is all character creation. So this character is made from the clone Nox, who is the monkey or the ape, the chimp that you see in the trailers with the, you know, the mechanical arm on the right hand. But this one has it on the left hand, and he's got several different things about him. There's like some tribal tattoos on his head, and then you could also customize it with clothing, with accessories, with weapons, and the type of jetpack, type of boots, all that stuff. Like the customization for this game is going to be amazing.
Johan on the left of the screen. Johan and Audrey picked their characters at the beginning of BGNE, so they are picking among the different DNAs that Emil was talking about earlier. And Johan picked the DNA shared with Nox, so it's a monkey DNA.
Hybrid monkey DNA.
Hybrid monkey DNA. He customized it to his liking, so with a different outfit, so black outfit, face tattoos, so it's really his character. Audrey picked a female character who shares the same DNA as Shani, the legendary character of the trailers. But she customized her character the way she wanted, with custom gear and custom costumes. So it's really, you play your own character. So what's happening here? We want to give an adventure flavor to BGNE too. So
and so she the female character was actually done after the human character that was in the trailers, and so you could pick the hairstyles, the clothing, the arm bands right there that you could see. So there's a lot of customization for characters.
So yeah, our 2 players here, they have heard, you know, about strange rumors of hybrids trafficking taking place in an underground abandoned temple of Ganesha City. And so they've entered this old abandoned temple, and now they're exploring it. They don't know what they're going to find out.
It's very important.
Exactly, they're on a quest. It's very important for us to have these mysteries, those investigations that you are going to lead to try to discover the darkest secrets, you know, taking place in System 3.
Yeah, and so you're going to have in the game many areas like this where you need to just search for your object, search for things, unveil the mysteries.
So what's really cool here is that it's not like one of those missions where you're given a mission and you're told to do something very specific. This one is, hey, there's this place. It's a mystery. Go there and find out why it's a mystery. So this one happens to be an abandoned temple that was used with very religious hybrids, and the temple is now abandoned. There's no hybrids around, but a lot of the religious structures are still there. So again, like say you're playing it, you're going to be going to this place, walking around, and knowing that there's something mysterious about the place, but you don't know what it is, so you may as well go inside and find out. You don't know what you're going to find. It could be something mysterious, or it could be something dangerous.
It's key for us because we want this link with BGNE1 with this adventure flavor. We said in the beginning, BGNE2 is about make you feel as a space pirate captain. So gameplay-wise, really concretely gameplay-wise, we define 3 key abilities for you to use as a space pirate captain. These are the moves that you're going to be doing a lot. So you've got a gun, you can shoot. You've got a sword to fight close combat, and you've got jetpack, so you can fly around. So these are your 3 key abilities. And on top of that, we added another layer that we call augments.
What we call augments. So augments are actually specific power, specific abilities that you can equip either on your gun, your sword, or even on your character. And depending on where you equip them, it will change their effects. You can build specific decks, also combining different types of.
So augments are stuff that you can connect that make different effects on your weapons or on your actual character. And as you just seen there, and I think he talks about it, but I'm not sure, there is friendly fire. So you can kill your friends, which I think is really, really awesome, because that means we'll be able to get in, like your friends will be able to all get into the game, and then we can get inside our starships or different other kinds of vehicles that you could steal, because you could hijack any single vehicle in this game. So you can go into the city and steal some hovercraft, or go into the city and steal another spacecraft. And of course, you're going to have the law on you, but you'll be able to dogfight your friends. And I think that's really cool that they added friendly fire.
Augments. Keep in mind that augments basically will define your playstyle as a space pirate captain.
And you're going to loot them, you're going
to
unlock
them and find the rarest.
So here we see
augments.
that Audrey has been frozen.
Exactly. There is friendly fire, of course, on augments, so you can annoy your teammates when you play in groups of friends.
And the effects just accumulate to make some crazy
you can stack the effects of the
combinations.
augments. Yeah, very interesting also for that.
So once our demoists are finished fooling around with the augments, we're gonna continue the demo. So BGNE is a game you play alone, as I said, or with your friend in co-op. But in this game, you don't need to stick together in the universe. So here, Audrey is going to be parting ways with Johan for this small part, and so she's going to be going in this corridor. We're going to switch to Johan, who took another route. So Johan is exploring this part of the temple, and he's
now just think for a second that they are on a planet that is life-size. That they are made of a city called Ganesha City that is massive. Massive, and there's several places that you can go into inside the city. The city's got a bunch of story. There's an AI walking around. This game's not even, I don't even think it's 50% of the way done. These guys are working really hard. They're going to put a lot into this game, but pretty much a life-size planet. And there's all these areas that you can go into on the planet without really any hand-holding narrative, just a loose narrative. Go here, figure out why I sent you here. And then it's such an amazing thing.
Stumbling upon this big dust bins.
Yeah. There's body parts there
with hybrid monkey parts. So arms, legs cut down to pieces. So it's a bit sad and a bit creepy. So it goes in with your investigation of knowing what's happening in this area. And what we like to say is, if as a player, if you didn't escape your fate as an hybrid monkey slave, then maybe you would have ended in this dustbins with your fellow unlucky hybrid monkeys.
And I'd want to state that you don't have to play as an ape or a monkey or a human. You could play as pretty much any hybrid that you want to play as. So you can customize your character, make it any type of species that you would like a tiger, a lion, a shark, all kinds of stuff that you could pick from. So it doesn't have to be a human, and it doesn't have to be an ape. So let's go ahead and get back to it.
So now Johan is progressing carefully. We see in the distance that there's some light, and we can distinguish some enemies. So we're going to go back, switch to Audrey's point of view for the next part of the
Audrey
demo.
is reaching the same room from above, and we can see those creepy scientists in the distance, making some weird experiments on hybrids. And now Audrey is using the...
Now here's the part that's pretty cool. It's the Spyglass. So in part 1 you were able to take pictures and things like that. So in this one, since you play as a pirate, you're going to get a Spyglass. But the Spyglass does so many different things. It could take pictures. It could also read the environment, tell you what you're looking at, who you're looking at. And this is also a part of the demo where you could actually see how work in progress it is. How work in progress actually it is. It is far from being done, and the fighting mechanic needs a lot of work done to it. The animations for fighting, character animations, period, need a lot of work done on it. But the Spyglass is pretty cool.
Spyglass, another very, very important equipment for space pirate captains.
So when you scan something, it'll tell you what you're looking at. Over on the left-hand side, it says human DNA, and it says that it's a scientist, and that the scientist, a scientist on this planet is rare. It also says who they're associated with, Chimera Corporation, and then you could scan for more info over there on the left-hand or right-hand side.
With the Spyglass, you can scan your environment. You can also scan enemies.
Damage.
And when you scan enemies, you can see that they are also equipped.
Now we've got another scientist that's rare.
It's giving you a lot of information.
Exactly. Augments that you have can also be equipped on enemies. And depending of the augments equipped on the enemies, they will behave totally in different ways and attack.
Now this one's called a security guard. They're common. It's another human, DNA 04. And then it says push back over there on the right. It's dangerous. Then it says they're with the Shark Organization.
In different ways.
So this guy is a pushback.
Exactly, and the creepy scientists, they have some healing bullets. It means that they will be able to heal the guards during the fight. So you have to be careful about that. So
the other NPCs can actually heal other NPCs. Did you hear that? Let me see that again. I wasn't paying attention.
And depending of the augments equipped on the enemies, they will behave totally in different ways and attack you in different ways.
So this guy is a pushback.
Exactly, and the creepy scientists, they have some healing bullets. It means that they will be able to heal the guards during the fight. So you have to be careful about that.
Okay, so I see the thing on the right. Pushback, he said, is very dangerous. These are the augments that they have attached to them. And if it says heal, that means they could heal other NPCs as you're trying to kill them. This one says slow, so it probably slows you down as you're trying to fight. So that could get pretty dangerous there, as the humans and the NPCs can actually have augments on them as well.
So if you want to take time to have the right strategy for combat, it's always good, to scan your enemy first.
Yeah,
but
you're not forced.
Exactly. If you don't want to do it and rush to the action, you can also do it, of course. Just gives an extra layer.
Yeah. So I think that's the moment where we switch back to Johan, and
exactly.
Our players are going to engage.
They are going to engage the fight, so they can synchronize between themselves to really start the fight at the best moment and at the best strategy. So now we're going to go back on Johan.
So he's going to
take his gun to shoot actually an augment. He's been shooting a freezing augment on one of the scientists. And the start is now fighting the big blue dome that you're seeing there is actually slowing down enemies. So once enemies enter this dome, they move very, very slowly. It's easier for you to hit them with your sword.
And you can see that during the fight, you can use the 3 basic abilities. So
exactly.
Shooting, augments, for example, fighting with your sword, and also combining the jetpack, so you can have actions from the air down.
You can launch some specific attacks from your jetpack when you're flying above the enemies. So again, augments would be very, very important for you to succeed in your fight against the various enemies that you will meet in the game.
In this demo, we have only a few augments, and
very limited.
GP is going to be coming a bit later to show you the progress.
Give you an update about this.
And this is very important for us to share this. The main message we want to give to the players here is that we're bringing back melee combat from BGNE 1 to BGNE 2. So that's the key thing. So we're done.
Yeah, all the enemies have been taken down. And now Johan is going to use the Spyglass again. As you can see, one of the hybrids is not dead.
Almost.
Yeah, he's not in a good shape, but he's not dead. And you can scan him. And by scanning him, you will see that he has this.
So right here it says the hybrid is a monkey, DNA 17, hybrid slave common. So the slaves are as common as the guards that you have to fight. and BG&E 2, hybrids are most of them are slaves. They're bred and genetically bred in a laboratory to do work, and as far as to be in a brothel, to be a slave in the workforce, to be a bounty hunter, to be a toy for children, so many different things. A laborer. So that's what the premises beyond Good and Evil 2 is that you are a pirate. You're somebody who has escaped from being in that way of life. You're no longer a slave, and now you're free to do whatever you want, and that might be to exactly this: free other slaves and stop the humans from doing what they're doing.
Skills of a mechanic. This is very important because, like I was saying, in the game you will be able to recruit your crew members among all the people you will meet. So you could, if you need a mechanic, you could actually recruit this guy to put him in your crew.
And so there he says that that you could recruit this guy to be on your ship. So if it said he was a mechanic, you could recruit him to be a mechanic. Or if he was someone who was good at weapons, you could recruit him to be on your ship as far as weapons. But this one here is a mechanic, and the crew that you actually build can get upset and mad at you and actually leave. So they could walk away from you if you, maybe, I don't know why. I don't know if you're always shooting random people, or if you're failing missions, they might get mad and they might leave your ship. But the better NPCs that you find to staff your ship, the better your mothership is going to work.
Showing too much of this today, but keep in mind that building the best crew possible is very, very important in Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes, as we said, so you've got 3 key abilities: your sword, your gun, and your jetpack. And so that's on the micro gameplay part of things. And on a larger scale, to define our space pirate experience, we want you to have your space captain, your crew, and your ship. Yes. So these are the three big pillars. Talking of ships, here are some.
Now this part is really super cool. I mean, there's 2 aircrafts here. There's one like hover bike, and then there's a starship sitting here. And this is just so awesome. They're getting ready to fly through this tunnel and come out into Ganesha City.
Conveniently parked here for the purpose of the demo. The main thing here is that any vehicle you see in the game, you can drive it, you can fly it. So this overbike, this fighter, you can fly them.
And you can see the traffic is going along. The traffic is going by just outside.
Give us a tour through outside of this temple into Ganesha City. So welcome to Ganesha City.
And there it is.
So this is our in-game version of the city that you saw is in our trailers. So that's the same place. As I said already, you can part ways. Johan is going to be doing his stuff and still be in the same session, but we will follow.
Now, they said that you could part ways even though you're co-op. You guys could just go do whatever you want to do and just get back with each other when time is needed. Here's something that's really awesome. If you look there on the screen, there is a little village being built on the side of the wall. There's stores there. I think that one says it's a barber, and then you can see like that bus that's down there. It's kind of like parked, and then there's like this little walkway where they can get out. So you've got like this big city, but on the city, growing off of the city, you've got one being built by people who are trying to hide and stay off the grid. And I just think that is so cool.
Audrey, who's going?
And there's a close-up view of it. Yeah, barbershop and beer. You got some of the windows that some of them are open.
Give us a tour of.
Here's some more over here on the side. You got some more businesses and places that you can park. You can see that they're parked there. There's one down there that's parked, and then there's a couple of what looks like tour buses, and they're parked here on the side here. I guess maybe to go inside this big building. Now in Ganesha City, you've got three different layers. You've got the upper part of the city, which is all the rich people, and then there's also another religious part of the city where there's no advertisements or anything like that. It's just all religious. And then you have the middle layer, which is kind of like your middle class, but underneath in the underbelly of the city, that's where all the pirates and all the crime and all the brothels and all that stuff is down there.
The inside of Ganesha City. So we start with the lower part of the city where the hybrid are living.
You can see the shanty towns where the hybrids are living right over there.
And yes, you could fly down there and get out of your car or bike.
Yeah, it's a kind of a segregation going on in the city with hybrid living down in the shanty towns and humans living up in the upper part of the city. We're gonna make a spotlight on this
on the
giant
left, you can see
fresco.
A beautiful example of the community creation.
Created by you.
Exactly. This
and that, I think you're ready to say that that is another piece of art that somebody provided to hit record. So somebody else's art, just drawing stuff, is now going to be forever imprinted into this game. And you guys could do that too.
Really beautiful.
Of course, the divinity Ganesha, and as you can see, we had this huge wall, so we had to put it there. Keep in mind that
just look at the scale of this game,
especially in huge city, to display.
And look, there's a place to go to down there
from the community. So this would be a unique way for you guys to actually see your creations in the final game.
In the same way, you can pick up any vehicle and drive it. You can land any place in the city. There's no problem. You can enter a lot of places as well.
You can land any place in the city, and as you can hear, there's radio being played. I want to go back just a little bit more.
Any place.
Right there. So you can see the two vehicles right there that are parked here to get off and to get onto whatever place this is. But in a few minutes, you're going to be able to hear a song being played, and that's just coming from loudspeakers everywhere. But the music that you hear are being created by people like you and people like me who are submitting a guitar riff, and then someone takes that guitar riff and then they sing to it, and that someone takes that and say, hey, this is missing drums, I'm going to add drums to this, and but by the end of the day you got a whole song, and then these guys, they go, okay, you know what, that sounds good, let's put that in a video game. And that's what you're going to hear. All the music on here is created by fans, and fans only. Fans only. Here we go.
In the city, there's no problem. You can enter a lot of places as well. We'll see this in a moment.
Look at
really
that.
Like this position in Ganesha City on the foot of this huge statue. And this statue is mixing high-tech elements such as hologram and old-style statues. And we really like this very, very specific atmosphere that brings to Ganesha City and to science fiction as we see it. You can see there's a lot of traffic in the city, but we'll see in the updated videos on the traffic that we'll have later that we've improved this a lot over the past.
So they just said that there's going to be more traffic in the updated videos that they're going to be releasing, that they've improved on the traffic system yet even more than what we're seeing right now. Improved yet even more. And then up there, you can see Johan is up there flying around too. As they're panning around, you can see him, the person who's playing co-op flying around.
Just a few months in the city. So you've got the traffic, you've got statues, but you also got some specific locations, such as here. You can see the police station that's guarded with scouting ships, police scouting ships, and also a heavy frigate. You can use your Spyglass to have information on everything, and it's kind of an upgraded version of the camera
from the first game, exactly. Yeah.
So you can take pictures and etc., but you can do much more with this Spyglass. Here we're scanning the traffic to see what kind of vehicles are there. Here we're scanning this building to see it's a temple. You can enter this temple the same way we were in a few minutes ago. There's a bank here if you want to do some robbery or if you just want to withdraw.
So he said there was a bank over there that if you wanted to do some robbery. So let's go back and take a look at that bank.
To see what kind of vehicles are there. Here we're scanning this building to see it's a temple.
That's a temple he said you can enter.
You can enter this temple.
And there's a bank right there that he said that you could rob. If you wanted to rob a bank, you're a space pirate. So if you wanted to rob a bank, there's one right there that you could go rob in this game.
The same way we were in a few minutes ago. There's a bank here if you want to do some robbery or if you just want to withdraw money. To go to that shop, for example.
For a pirate, all these locations are opportunities. You can steal those places, you can attack them, you can also choose to actually buy something. If you want to be a nice pirate.
Exactly. In the shop you can buy augments, you can buy gear, you can buy new outfits.
So there's shops that you could buy augments, you could buy new outfits, new accessories, weapons. This is absolutely amazing. This is, I don't understand why this game doesn't have more traction.
It's really up to your liking. So here Audrey is gonna steal
another
borrow another overbike. So
right there, he just went in and just like in the game, you're going to be able to take any vehicle that you see. Any vehicle that you see, you're able to jump in it and take and steal it, just like in GTA. So right there, he just jumped in one and took it.
In this version, there's no...
And did you hear that? Somebody said, give me that back or something like that. So somebody was upset and knew that he took it, so he got out of there. Did you hear that? Let's try and check it out one more time.
Audrey is going to steal yeah. Another... Borrow another overbike. So in this version, there's no police coming after you for this, but it's coming into
or could have been the radio.
So here, what
you're hearing the radio
is also a community created asset. And especially music for Radio Cheetah.
Yeah,
watch this. Oh, look at that!
Radio, yes,
I'm gonna so do that.
So we'll leave you to listen to this. Everyone is still here, playing with us. So we are coming.
You know how much fun I would have at this
location. That's the gate of Ganesha City Main Street.
Look at the size of that city.
The opening of the city, and it's a place where tourists from all over System 3 are like to come and to take pictures of this giant Ganesha statue that we're going to visit a bit later in the demo. Yeah. So now we say that BGNE 2 is about your character, your being yourself and expressing yourself in the game. So you can do it with your captain. Speedpipe captain, but also with your ships.
Yeah, basically keep in mind that all the...
Okay, so here they're going to show a little bit about ship customization. I hear a lot of people, Dave Langer being one of them, saying that they wish that No Man's Sky had ship customization like this, and I cannot agree more. The ship customization in Beyond Good and Evil 2 is absolutely amazing, but here, let's go ahead and check it out.
Aspect of your...
You got modes up there, or modules, sorry, we got modules, gear, cosmetic, cabin, energy, and engine. Those are different categories that you could use to customize your starship.
Pirate fantasy, you will be able to customize them in the game. So you will be able to customize, of course, your small ships, the fighters, as we call them, but you will be also able to customize in the same way your huge mothership that we will see a bit later in the demo. So here, Audrey is playing with the various modules that are composing her fighter and changing completely, of course, the visual aspect of this fighter, but also changing the way this ship will, the handling and the way you pilot this ship.
Okay, so not only are you changing the cosmetic, like he just said, but you're changing the way the ship will actually handle. So you're changing the actual mechanics and physics of the ship. So you might put something on there and it turns super fast, or you might make the ship more heavier and it turns slower.
She's also playing with the gear, and she will finish with all the cosmetic elements to customize her ship. So the color palette, of course, but also the pattern, and she will finish this by putting an emblem, pirate logo on her ship. And you will see that as soon as she has finished the ship, she will be able to play with this ship in the demo.
Instantly,
exactly,
you get into
created.
the ship. Yeah,
exactly. So in the distance, Johan, as you can see, as he approached a bit too close to the big statue, the big Ganesha statue.
So we switched to
exactly.
Point of view.
And there are rules in this city. And
okay, so here is a police vessel. He's saying that you can't go too close to this statue. You're going to get in trouble. So here he is getting in trouble.
It attracted the police, and the police is now attacking Johan. So Audrey is going to try to join him
taking some hits.
Exactly, to help him fight all those small police.
He's a bit outnumbered.
Exactly, the small police fighter. And there's also a big frigate there, and our two players are not strong enough at the moment to take down this frigate. So they have to make sure that they take down this small ship and try to escape. As you can see, we have this pretty nervous dogfight that is...
now we're back on Audrey.
Exactly, Audrey is coming to help Johan. There will be also fights with big motherships. Those fights will play totally differently. It will be much slower. You will have to move your ship around the other one and fight at the right moment. Exactly. But the dogfights.
Look at the size of that city down there.
Something we need to add is that you have augments for your ships as well.
Yeah, for instance, you could have healing missiles, and you could shoot them at some friends to heal them during a co-op fight. So they're doing a pretty good job taking down all those small
ships,
small fighters from the police.
And as we said, so here is the big
Exactly, big
frigate.
frigate, yeah.
And they're a bit too weak
It's
for
too
now.
strong. You're seeing that the missiles don't break it, so
they're going to have to escape from here.
yeah.
But before this, we asked Johan to go very close to the head of the statue.
So you can see the details, yeah.
To show you the details of this giant statue that was built by the inhabitants of Ganesha
Probably
City.
built by hybrid slave, by the way.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
The dark side of the statue.
Exactly.
So
that entire city, just imagine, this is how big these planets are, that entire city that he was in, that he didn't even cover even 1% of while he was there. And think about how many of those buildings, that big temple that they were in, that massive game world, that temple, that big level design of that temple was just a little place that he was in. And then he came out and there's much bigger city. And now the city is right here, right there with his Ganesha, just that little itty bitty portion right there. And he's going to be zooming out.
Now putting a
There's that
marker
much
on
more
another
planet.
ship, which is parked a bit further
And the
away
planet that you see there, that gas giant, is even bigger.
from the city. It's a few thousand kilometers away, so we're going to be going to that place. But don't worry, because we have really big speeds in the game. We'll be there in no time. So
Stay with us.
Stay with us. Before this, Audrey will do a small stunt close to the statue.
Yeah. Pretty risky.
Yes, thank you. And she's going to fly over Ganesha City. So that's the city we were in a few minutes ago. We're going to aim at Cameron Spaceport, this city, and then take up the sky to the to Audrey's mothership. And now that's my favorite moment of the demo. I'm saying to everyone, please take a moment to remember where we were 10 minutes ago. We were inside a hidden temple beyond the surface of Ganesha City. We fought a close quarter combat with some guards and scientists. Then we escaped through the city with overbikes and through the traffic. We fought against the police around the giant statue and then flew to this location on top of the planet. So really, in a few minutes, we went seamlessly from a small interior to the grand view of the full planet.
Exactly.
And that's one of the key things.
And so what you're seeing, 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 and so what you're seeing there. Did y'all hear that? Or Snow, did you hear that? Okay, I don't know. So what you're seeing here is hello?
1 second.
So what you're seeing here is another ship that you can own. You can own that big mothership, and you can own this many other types of ships that you could dock inside there as well. And meanwhile, you have a crew inside that mothership.
In BGNE 2, it's that difference of scales that you can feel during the gameplay, and transitioning from a small scale, like a human scale, to a planetary scale, and going through the spaceship scale. So it's very mind-boggling, and that's what really drives us to move forward. We want that feeling to be super cool.
A quick comment about the mothership of Audrey. She customized her mothership to make it look like the Gada, the famous mothership of the Kini, the one we've been showing in our 2 trailers. But you can imagine that you can customize it in a totally different way.
And it's roughly 500 meters long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's a really big,
pretty huge ship. Yeah.
So Audrey has exited her spaceship, fighter, sorry, and you can see a very rough effect on her character. It's just a work in progress effect to show you that you've got a shield when you are out in the open. You can breathe.
So instead of getting like some kind of like exosuit that you would wear out in space, there's this kind of like a force field, almost like what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy that had it. I believe it was Guardians of the Galaxy. But it's sort of something just like that, like this little netted force field that comes around you that encompasses your body, so that way you're safe out in outer space.
With no difficulty. If you want to,
and it's going to look better than that. He said this is work in progress. It's they're gonna touch that up, make it look better.
looking version. Look at the 2018 trailer when Shani is exiting her space fighter.
And if you guys can pay attention, the watch the big gas giant in the background. It's actually rotating on its axis. It's spinning. You have actual planets that are absolutely 100% proof. Okay, I know we've been told this before, but this solar system is a working solar system. It is all revolving around its star, and if you look really close, you could see the other planet spinning.
With no difficulty. If you want to see a better looking version, look at the 2018 trailer when Shani is exiting her space fighter to go to the space, and she has this kind of effect. I was talking about scales, so it's very important for us to have links between the different scales of gameplay. So this geoglyph is kind of...
This is another great example of community creation. This is a giant geoglyphs. We want to have several geoglyphs like this on the surface of the different planets.
Reminds of the Nazca.
Exactly. So this has been created by the community, and the idea is that when you see a geoglyph like this from space, when you are flying above the planet, these geoglyphs are actually hints for treasures hidden on the ground of the planet, or maybe mystery secret entrance to temples. And the idea is that we want you to come closer to this geoglyph and land on the ground of the planet to try to find the secret inside this geoglyph.
Yeah, it's a way for us.
So he's scanning this here, the Ganesha City down there. It says Ganesha City up there, and it says scan for more info.
To the surface of the planet from outer space.
Yes.
So you can literally see the city from space.
We are going to use the Spyglass again to look at Ganesha City from this distance. You will see that we can scan everything in the game, including large cities.
And there is the other player there. You can see the other player, Johan, is still out there flying around Audrey there.
Ganesha City is pretty far away at that point.
It is.
and we're zooming on it.
We're zooming on it. We see the information, Ganesha City. And we can even see the giant statue.
Said scanning in progress, and then some information came over on the right-hand side. It said, the sacred city of Ganesha is the oldest city on the planet, Soma. It is infused with ancient and venerable culture that its Hindu founder brought with him from the old earth. And there is going to be more than one culture in this game, not just Hindu or anything like, not just the one culture. There's going to be many different cultures. They just started with the Hindu.
Around a few minutes ago, it's here. It's rendered in real time by our engine. So if
traffic is still running in the city at that moment, everything is still there.
If Johan, our co-op player, is in the city, we can join him again, and there's no loading, nothing. It's all seamless. And
the legendary Scotsman Colin Cameron founded that spaceport. Joe never know what is lying around just waiting for us to steal in the spaceport full of engineering tech. So looks like this one, Scotsman, would that be Scottish?
And when we say seamless, we mean that not only we can go from scales to different scales in the same time, but also the different systems are crossing themselves seamlessly. This is our universe map. So it's not a regular 2D map of the game universe. It's
okay. So they're getting ready to show the universal map, like the star system map. So keep in mind how big the planet is that they're hovering over top of, and keep in mind that the planet that they're hovering over top of is the gas giant is literally like 20 times bigger, and they're getting ready to show you the star system map.
It's a real thing. This is the planet that we were on a few minutes ago, rendered normally, and it's just a point of view that we give to you. So here we can see the giant geoglyph here that Emil and I just talked about.
There's some points of interest here. There's a starship, something look like a hazard. I don't know if that's like a ruin. I'm not sure what that sign. There's a question mark there. So there's definitely things that you can go off into the game and search for, just like in No Man's Sky when you see icons and stuff like that. So that's going to be also in this game too. And just think how early on this game is, and they've already got this much stuff to go look for. There's some kind of chemical sign right there.
City, we've placed icons so that you can conveniently find your way back to the places you've been already. we've got some question marks to tease you on some new
Mining
stuff.
camp.
And earlier in the stream, Gab and Emile showed you a
Look at
concept
that.
art of the planet of Soma, and this is what you see here. So we've got New India.
Look at the
and if
size of
we
that
rotate
planet.
The planet on the left, then we see Naraka. So that's the side that's hit by meteorites.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
Okay, so this site is hit by meteorites and asteroids and things like that. See the craters that are there? During the very first gameplay demo, he showed how meteorite hits, and these meteorites will hit randomly and actually will leave scars on the planet in real time. Real time.
It exists in the game already.
You can see those huge craters, created by all those meteorite showers, falling on the ground of the planet. This side of the planet, Naraka, of course, there are no cities there. You can't build a city like Ganesha City on this side of the planet. But if you want, you can go and explore it as a space pirate.
And as we saw in the artwork, there are some mines for...
Exactly, there will be things to explore, of course, on this side of the planet.
But it's a very dangerous part of the planet that you cannot really settle in.
No.
If we zoom back again a bit, we see that this is the planet we are working on. It's very big in size, as you see, Ganesha.
And look at the size of the ocean. I wonder how many, like we're pirates, so I wonder if there's going to be some kind of gameplay mechanic to where we could actually have boats out in that ocean as well and have a sort of gameplay, like I don't know, like a ocean pirate opera, like be able to role play as ocean pirates as well, because that is a lot of water on that planet.
Small, but we can even...
So here we go. I just want you to see the size comparison for a second. There's that big gas giant, and right there's the size of the planet Soma, the one that we were just on. That's how big the planet is in comparison. And there's another planet over here called Chandra, but they're getting ready to show the entire map here.
Zoom back and to see in real time, again, it's in-game. It's not an image. We see the real Soma, the real Deus, which is the gas giant. Soma is rotating around, and it's rendered by our simulation, actually. And if we zoom back again...
Here we go. And there is the entire star map with the star in the middle. You got Nark, Sura, Agani, Ganja? Lost Ark of Manu. Then you got Kalisa, and then Deus.
You see the whole system 3, and again, this is your zone for playing.
The area that you'll have to explore in the game.
And yes, there will be space stations out in space. There will be space bars to go into where only pirates hang out, and they're going to be probably dangerous to go into some of those places. So there's space is going to have stuff in it too. So it's not just the planets.
Great moment to talk about our day and night cycle.
Yep.
We didn't code any day and night cycle in this game. The day and night cycle is created by the fact that planets are rotating around the sun. So we have actually a solar system simulation in the game created this day and night cycle.
So it's actually day and night cycle based on the solar system, just actually the star system being at work. That's it. Okay, there's no timers or anything like that, like just a skybox. It's nothing like that. Your day and night literally depends on the rotation, and that's it. That's how it is. There's a light source in the middle, which is a star, and day and night cycle is dependent on the spin of that planet.
We've got beautiful sunsets.
Exactly.
They are, procedurally generated sunsets.
Exactly.
So we are back on Audrey, and actually we're going to switch to Johan to end up this demo. I said several times that you can part ways with your co-op friends in the game and then join again without all of this seamlessly. And that's you can do it in a small dungeon, you can do it in a city, but you can also do it across the whole universe. So here Johan is a living ground, and you can see that because he's still in the atmosphere, there is air friction on his spaceship. As soon as he's going to be out of the atmosphere, the effects of the flames are going to diminish like this, meaning no air friction anymore, and now it can reach speeds that are huge speeds. Yeah.
So there's definitely going to be a difference between flying in space and flying on a planet. That is refreshing. That is so super refreshing. There's going to be drag and resistance while you're on a planet, and no drag or resistance in space. That's awesome.
Still here on the planet. So as I said, everything is happening in the same universe completely seamlessly. I think that's the end of
Exactly,
our game demo.
And that is it. That is the end of the game demo. What did you guys think? I would love to have you guys come on the show today to talk about it. I'm going to hurry up and get Stubborn Ninja on the call because Stubborn Ninja's been waiting there for quite a while. But get into the show, guys. Zyger Boy, I see you in there, buddy. I'm going to get you on the call as soon as we talk to Stubborn Ninja here for a second. But if you want to call the show, get into our Discord, get into the Atlas 102.5 FM voice room on the left-hand side, and I will pull you into the Subcast room.